Alright, let's get right into it. If you're dealing with Central Serous Chorioretinopathy, or CSCR, that keeps coming back, you already know it feels like a fight. In this explainer, we're giving you the complete battle plan, a guide to winning what is absolutely a two-front war. You know that feeling, right? That sinking feeling when straight lines start to look a little wavy again, or when that dark spot just reappears right in the middle of everything. It's not just a medical problem, it's this deeply personal, totally exhausting struggle. If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Let's figure out what's really going on. Okay, so first things first, we have to understand the enemy. We're going to break down what chronic CSCR actually is, and, way more importantly, why this thing has such a nasty habit of coming back, trapping you in a pretty vicious cycle. So at its core, CSCR is kinda like a plumbing problem in your eye. See, fluid that's supposed to stay behind your retina starts to leak through, and it builds up underneath, creating this little blister. That's what causes that distorted, blurry, or dim spot right in the center of your vision. And you're not alone. It's super common, especially in men in their prime working years. So what's causing this leak in the first place? Well, you can boil it all down to just one word: steroids. An excess of steroids in your body is the main reason those tiny vessels behind your retina start getting leaky. And this slide right here shows the trap. It all starts with some kind of stress trigger. Could be a big deadline, not sleeping well, anything. Your body responds by pumping out cortisol, which is its own natural steroid. That cortisol spike causes the leak and boom, vision distortion. But here's the real kicker. Losing your vision causes a ton of stress and anxiety, right? And that becomes a brand new trigger, starting the whole miserable cycle all over again. This brings us to the most critical part of this entire explainer. To break that cycle, you have to fight on two fronts. And the first front, the one that matters most, isn't fought in a doctor's office, it's the internal battle, the one against the root cause of the whole problem. So, it's really crucial to know where these steroids are coming from. You've got two main sources. External sources are things you take, steroid creams, nasal sprays, pills, even some of those sketchy herbal remedies that have steroids hidden in them. But for most people with chronic CSCR, the real culprit is internal. It's your body's own production of cortisol, all thanks to mental and physical stress. And this is not a small thing. We're talking about 99% of chronic cases. For 99% of you, the key to getting this thing to finally stop is making real, significant lifestyle changes to manage your stress. That's it. That's the single most important piece of the puzzle, and honestly, it's the part that's easiest to overlook in a quick doctor's visit. So what does that actually look like? Well, think of it less like putting out fires and more like fireproofing the building. It means getting your schedule in order, consistent sleep, regular meals. It means being really honest with yourself about your biggest stressors. And look, it often means getting professional help from a therapist who can give you the right tools. This stuff is hard, and it might mean making huge life changes. Oh, and here's an interesting side note. Some studies link H. pylori, the stomach ulcer bacteria, to CSCR, so it's definitely worth getting that checked out too. Okay, so now let's talk about the second front in this war, the external battle. This is where your doctor comes in. This is about the clinical tools they can use to fight an active leak and stop the immediate damage. I want you to think about medical treatments like this. Your doctor and their tools are the firefighters. They are absolutely essential for putting out the current blaze, sealing the leak, getting that fluid to go away. But they don't fireproof the building. If you don't make those lifestyle changes we just talked about, another fire is probably going to start. So what's in their toolkit? Well, they'll probably start with an angiogram to pinpoint exactly where the leak is. If it's outside the very center of your vision, a standard green laser can usually seal it up pretty effectively. If the leak is right in the middle, a gentler micropulse yellow laser might be an option. And alongside that, you might get drops or pills to help your body absorb all that fluid faster. For really stubborn cases, they might talk about injections as a last resort. Okay, but I know what you're probably thinking. It's the question every single patient asks. Everybody's stressed. My coworker is stressed, my neighbor is stressed. Why am I the one getting leaky retinas? It's a totally fair question, and there's a real biological answer. The answer is a condition called pachychoroid. It sounds complicated, but it just means that for some people, the choroid, that's the layer of blood vessels behind the retina, is naturally a little thicker than average. On its own, that's not a problem, but it does make that layer more likely to leak when it gets hit with a big spike of cortisol. So basically, it's your unique eye anatomy that causes your body to react to stress in this very specific way. All right, let's talk about something that's just as important as the treatments, managing your expectations. And this is so key, even after the fluid is gone, the journey back to clear vision is often way, way longer than you'd hope. This timeline here shows the reality of it. The fluid itself, that blister, that can actually go away in just a few weeks. That's the fast part. But the photoreceptor cells, the tiny things that actually see the light, they've been pushed out of place. Getting them to settle back down can take months. And for that wavy distortion to actually get better, we could be talking 1 to 2 years. And that's only if you don't have any new leaks. This is the number one thing to burn into your brain about recovery. You have to be patient. That distortion, the waviness, it is the very last thing to heal. Your eye and your brain need a long, uninterrupted break from the leaks to slowly repair that damage. Every single new episode resets that clock. Okay, so let's put it all together. We've talked about the internal battle and the external battle. Winning this thing for good means you need a unified plan that fights hard on both of those fronts at the same time. So here it is, your two-front battle plan. On front one, prevention. You have to accept that stress is the root cause and then get aggressive about managing it. That means real lifestyle changes and probably professional help. Then there's front two, treatment. You work with your doctor to find and seal the active leaks and manage the fluid. You can't pick one. It's not optional. You cannot win this war by only fighting on one front. It takes both. And that really brings us to the final, most important question. Winning this battle isn't just about eye drops or laser treatments. It's about taking a really hard look at your life and finding the courage to make the changes you need to make. So the question isn't just, can you beat this? It's, are you ready to change your life to save your sight?